Hey everyone, as promised, I wanted to do was where are they now, or with this one it's a bit more like how their season has started, because I kind of find we get to the draft, we get all excited about the draft picks, then we don't hear what's happening to them afterwards. So I want to do a video on that, which I'm doing now. I don't know how many I managed to get through in this one video when I get to the start, because this is when my partner goes to bed, that will be the end of it. So in the title, it will say how many picks there were that I'm running through, and then the rest I'll do tomorrow. So let's start with the number one pick. Alex Lafreniere obviously went to the Rangers, very handy pick for them. He decided not to report to the QMJHL, nor did he want to play in Europe. He's pretty solidly saying, yep, I'm going training camp for the Rangers when the NHL kicks off. Should find out in a couple of days whether he's going to World Junior or not. That's still up in the air. I think that's the team decision on the Rangers side of things, and they're probably waiting to see whether, the games are going to start Jan 1 or if they're going to be a little bit later. So curious to see how that all plays out, but yeah, it should be very exciting to see how it all goes for him. Quinton Byingfield was the second pick, and he went to the Kings, obviously. He is going to the World Junior, so yeah, he hasn't started playing in the O at all. So he said that he'd go to try to make the Canada team. He's like bigger than everyone else that plays World Junior. Just in size and stature, and take away his skill aside, like he's probably in the team by that. And then you add a whole lot of skill. He adds a lot to people that are still pretty young. So like yeah, if you get the line mismatched with him, like there's oh boy, Team Canada. Rob Blake, the GM for the Kings, has approved it. So yeah, he's definitely playing for Team Canada and then heading to training camp or heading to the Kings. And then they'll sort of decide where they want to go with him after that. Tim Stutzler, who I thought really should have gone second, but just because I think he's great, broke his hand in training, so he didn't end up playing any games in the DEL. So that sucks. Made the World Junior lineup. He had successful surgery. Looks like he'll be back at the end of December. So whether he'll be ready to go for game 1, that will, yet to see. But there's a fair bit on the line for Germany. They're also missing a few players, especially the Red Wings pick from last year. He's not going. So yeah, they need to win just to stay in that category. So yeah, they just need to do at least okay to remain at World Junior in the first tier. Number 4, Lucas Raymond. So this is where we start to get into the territory of players that aren't the quintessential probably going to start in the NHL day dot. Whether Stutzler does is still to be seen, but yeah, it's not sure what's happening after the World Junior. But yeah, anyway. Lucas Raymond moved up from Frölunda. He was a fourth liner last year. Also didn't play all the games. He played in the other league in the SEL there. However, he's moved up to a second liner. He's got more points than he did have last year. He has 12 points in 19 games, which doesn't sound like much, but it is Europe, so just got to remember that it's not as free-flowing there. It kind of plays out a little bit more like soccer because of the larger ice. But he's 30th overall in scoring in the league, which is massive for his age. So, yeah, look to him make a huge difference in World Junior. Another one of those players that, I think could have a real coming out party in World Junior, actually. So just keep an eye on him. Number 5, Jake Sanderson. Obviously picked up by the Oilers. Not the Oilers, the Ottawa Senators. Picked up after they picked Tim Stutzler, they picked him, which I would want Drysdale, but anyway, that's up to you. Best of luck there. He hasn't been able to play. Obviously, the NCAA haven't got off at all yet. It looks like they're starting to get into a bubble with some of the teams. Then they're starting next week. So that's where his team North Dakota will actually get their first game. So probably we'll first see him around either that or World Junior. I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure they'll be isolating in some sort of bubble for that or some sort of training camp. So yeah, I think that will be the first time you'll probably see him playing some professional hockey. Haven't really heard too much about him, so unfortunately this is one of the few ones in this year's draft that I can't really talk about just because I think there's going to be a couple of players as we get down that are kind of in a bit of a holding pattern right now just because of, they've been dealt an unlucky hand when it comes to just not being able to play games. Jamie Drysdale, the reason why I'm in the Ducks jersey, just because he's a beaut. He's my favourite for no reason in this last draft, so I figured I'd represent Ducks. Plus I haven't awarded them in a video in a bit, so I went down that. He's obviously in the OHL, which haven't started playing games yet. Looks like they're coming back in February, so it was a fair bit away from there. So obviously went to the camp for Canada. Seems like he's doing pretty well there, but obviously haven't seen any real evidence of that. It's been pretty closed off the way they've all been performing, but yeah, rumours have been that he's been okay when he's been there, or good while he's been there. But yeah, so another one of those players, not much of an update. I don't think he's going to end up going to play at the Ducks to start off with. But yeah, alright, I couldn't get any more information on that. But that's, yeah, the last two defenders. Oh boy, just not being able to play at all. So, Alexander Holtz, pick 7 by the Devils, which may be a pretty savvy pick. He may, he was ranked higher than Raymond when it came to European, just all the scouting metrics. Most of them had him higher, and I think it was a big surprise when Raymond went as high as he did and above some of the other players. I think, yeah, it just kind of shifted everyone down. I think I really thought like Drysdale was going to go 5th or 4th. But yeah, Holtz off to a blinding start. 14 games, 11 points in the SHL. Again, if you're not familiar, it's a little bit of a low-scoring lead, but plus he's still quite young, so being near point a game there is pretty massive. So yeah, doing really well there. Looks like he's going to go to World Juniors, but apparently his team is extremely happy with him in the way it's progressing. I had to Google Translate a few articles to see what was going on. The general gist is that they're very happy with the way he's going. Yeah, some of the words that popped up, was just, yeah. Apparently when he skates, he skates. That was the thing that came up. When he skates, he skates. And I was like, okay, that's something. But yeah, like I was able to sort of get the general gist that they're happy with his performance. So it looks like he'll be there at World Junior again. Man, these two Swedes, eh? Like they're gonna cause a bit of damage going up there. But yeah, I think Holtz is probably they're gonna be the real one of those sweeter ones that we were like, oh. Can you imagine that, all these players, all these teams that missed out on that? But yeah, I think the Red Wings will look back at this draft and not only be mad at the fact that they didn't get a lottery pick because they had the best odds, but then whiffing on their pick. Maybe not whiffing, but like there's definitely better players there. I wouldn't have picked Raymond where he went, but it might work out. But yeah, Holtz looks like he's going pretty well to start off the season over in Sweden. Jack Quinn, probably one of the better goal scorers in this draft. Got picked up by the Sabres. I think he'll be pretty good for that team down the road. Although missing out on Rossi, I don't know how that's going to go. But anyway, we'll see what happens. He plays in the OHL, so similar to Rossi. You know what? I'm just going to do Quinn and Rossi at the same time. Like, I'm not. So not playing at all at the moment. Starting to get going in World Junior, but and get obviously doing the camps and whatnot. But yeah, they're looking like they're a bit away from really finding out what sort of player this is going to be. This is going to hurt his development, not being able to get there. But obviously, the extended training camp and the experience there might be able to refine his overall game. So that could be exciting. Also, I looked at the 67s. They'll be mad that everything stopped because their last 3 games was 6-0, 8-0, and 9-1, where they won all 3 of them. So there's a team that's mad that like everything shut down because they were on a heater. They also won 8 games in a row. So they were away. They were running away with it. But yeah, I guess obviously not happening. So the Minnesota Wild, next number 9. Minnesota Wild took Marco Rossi at number 9. And similar to the other OHL players, haven't played a game in the OHL. Went off to Switzerland, played 1 game. And it took me forever to figure out why he had only played 1 game. I was like, is he getting rested? Is he getting benched? No, he got COVID. Because there was a massive outbreak in that league. So yeah, he's managed to play 1 game. Still really tired, apparently. So yeah, all the best, buddy. That sucks. Just because, especially we saw what the teams that had COVID, like the Blues, they did not bounce back well. They just didn't have it. So hopefully, he can get it together. But yeah, and Austria is really going to need him at World Junior. So, I guess we'll see how it all plans out. But, yeah, crazy. I didn't read that at all, that Rossi had it. But, yeah, he definitely did. And, there's a few teams in that league that haven't played for over a month. So, the Wild might be regretting that loan. But, yeah, apparently he's okay now, still in quarantine, so he's recovering. But, yeah, just still quite tired, at least of a few days ago. So, hopefully he's okay now. But, yeah, not good, but, not good. Cole Perfetti is number 10, so we'll see where he's at. He obviously went to the Jets with pick 10. Yeah, one of those players in the OHL. Guess what he's been doing? Don't know. Probably going to make World Junior, the World Juniors team. He got cut last time, so I think he's pretty keen. They had a Sunday spotlight with him with the CHL the other day, or at least I saw it the other day. I think it was yesterday. And he kind of mentioned that the way he's speaking is as if he knows that he's going back to the OHL and probably not into the NHL this year, although he'll probably be around there for the camp if the camp's a bit later on. But yeah, expect him to be at World Junior. I can't see him getting into the league straight away. He might. I think he will light the world on fire. I think that's another player that just dropped for no reason in the draft, and I think a fair few teams will regret not picking him up. I think he'll be quite good down the road. But yeah, great hair too. Oh my God, does that guy have some flow? Yeah, we got similar like hair colors. He's a little bit lighter than mine, but we've got some good flow going. I see you, Cole. Need to get the moo. Yeah, he's a bit young for that, and this took like 3 years to grow, so better not three shade. He probably does grow better mustache than me. But yeah, so yeah, again. But yeah, we'll find out. Next, number 11 was the first goalie that went in the draft. Yaroslav Askarov. Sorry if I pronounce that wrong. Hopefully he doesn't speak. I think he does speak a bit of English. So he'll know I spelled. Well, I mean, he'll know that whether he speaks English or not. He knows whether his name's wrong. I don't think he's watching this anyway, so I got away with it. Yeah. Oh boy, this might be. You're always skeptical about goalies going high. Always a bit worried about it because for every goalie that it works out, there's a goalie it doesn't. And I'm looking at you Islanders. You remember, don't you? Don't even need to say his name. Like for every goalie seems to work out, there's one that just doesn't. And it's looking promising early. So yeah, Russia. I mean, Russia's pretty much ignored anything to do with COVID. They're fine. Putin's fine. He's got his shirt off and running around, doing all that sort of stuff. So they played a couple of international games against Czech Republic and Sweden. He did very well in that tournament. 3 games with a .962 save percentage and letting in less than a goal a game. He does play in the KHL as well. 7 games, .962 save percentage. So looking really good there with a win-loss of 4-3. The only thing is only 7 games, so like he is getting a little bit protected, I think, and he's on a stacked team in Pittsburgh, so he has a stellar team in front of him. However, those are very promising numbers, and an increase on last year. So look to see what he can do going forward. They're giving him the run at the KHL, I'm super curious how he goes at World Junior when they send him there. There's no way he doesn't go. Wow, I'm actually legitimately curious on how this all goes, because this might be like a real good chance for Russia to do something in this tournament with having him there. He could steal the show. He 100% could steal the show. I'm so curious. I just want to be able to watch him. I just want to be able to watch him play, and then I can kind of form a bit of a decision on what I think of him. But the brief things that I can see in the KHL. Again, it's really hard to navigate these websites because they're all in different languages. So it looks like I need to be fluent in 19 languages if I'm going to keep doing these videos. But super interesting to see where he ends up. But I'm happy for him. I'm thinking Nashville may have been onto something here. It usually takes a few years for goalies to come good butts, so we'll find out. Florida Panthers, number 12, their little baby Anton Lundell. Remember him? I always thought he would be a good little middle draft pick. And 19 points at 11 games in Finland in the top league. Also the youngest player to have a 6-point game. So, I mean, he has been elevated a little bit. Obviously, those points a game is elevated by a fair bit by getting 6 in a game. He got 6 points in a game. So, I mean, it's a kind of he can't look too much into the 19 points because he got 6 of them in one game. But also he got 6 of them in one game. So that's pretty unreal. He's looking really good coming out of there. So he put up a bit of size last year, really struggled at bits to get points consistently. Was able to get points, 28 in 44 games, but if I look through his stats, it just seems like he's a bit streaky, a bit up and down. He seems to be way more consistent this year when it comes to getting points. Again, a little bit hard to watch the games and whatnot, but you know, out of some of the highlights I've been seeing, they haven't been giving. He's been driving a little bit, and I actually think out of a lot of the highlights that I've seen of the players that are playing, he seems to be one of the more suited that I think will do pretty well in the North American game. Just the way he's kind of heading towards the net and just having that not fear factor with his game. So I think he might be sooner rather than later in the NHL, but I guess we'll find out. So I've just got to the point where I know I'm just going to do the first 15 in this video, and then tomorrow we'll do the other 16. So yeah, we're going to get to 15. But Seth Jarvis is next. Carolina Hurricanes. They got the pick from Toronto. Marlowe. Marlowe. Said that like hello. Hello. It's getting goofy. It's getting late. But yeah. Guess what league he plays in the WHL and they haven't played yet. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, apparently doing pretty good in the inter-squad games for the Team Canada training camp. Cool. Don't know. Great video idea from me, hey. This is just spot on. I mean, it's good. It has been good. Like, I know it sucks when you get to this and you're like, I don't know. I think he shot a puck in a driveway over the last few months, but and I'm sure these players are training really hard, but yeah, it's really good catching up with the ones that are over in Europe and you just don't hear about, at least for me, and just knowing where everything's at. And I want to revisit them down the road, but yeah, I guess we're going to have to move on. The Oilers picked up Dylan Holloway. This was the first of the middle picks that I got right when I did my mock draft. I sort of picked this one up straight away. I think it was a pretty bad kept secret that's where they were going, but yeah, like I was spot on with this one. Managed to play 2 games in the NCAA, scored 2 goals, so that was good. Obviously, very small sample size, can't see any of it. Yeah, hoping to make a bit of a difference when it comes to World Junior time. So I guess we'll wait and see there. But talent-wise, he's probably more the lower depths of that. So we'll see if he can sort of make it a bit of a coming out party for him. But yeah, I think there's a lot to do here with this sort of player. I think he'll really fit in with the Oilers, but we need to be able to see more. And again, just not much of a sample size. 2 games, I can't really talk about too much, and I can't find any highlights of them, so I can't even tell you what the goals were. So yeah, I looked for this one for a bit. This video, I know it seems like it's just seamless, it's just cutting, but like I'm doing one player and then recording it. And it has taken me an hour and a half to 2 hours just to do these 14 players. Just to find stuff on them is so brutal. I just wish Elite Prospects was a little bit better of a website. I'm just gonna throw it's super worth being premium for that, but like a little bit better. Just give me the news. Just have a news thing where just everything goes in there, or just people can just add news things to it. Maybe they do and I'm just missing it, but yeah. And last but not least for this video, like I said, ended up getting to 15, Amirov, who the Leafs got off the Pittsburgh Penguins pick. And yeah, I think this is a player that's got a long way to go. 6 points in 21 games in the KHL. Did pretty well in the VHL, which is kind of like the AHL, except just worse. And in that Russia tournament, that international tournament I was telling you about, where they played a few games, he got 3 goals in those 3 games. So clearly can play with the youngsters. Just obviously the KHL is a little bit difficult for him. He's playing down the lineup. The other main news with him, and of course being a Leafs pick, there was so much news on this player. So much news. Articles and everything, a few days old. The Wild, nothing. I had no idea that Rossi even had COVID. I had it was one dude on Twitter that was like, oh, by the way, do you know that? And you're just like, oh, what? Yeah, tons of news. Looks like he's probably looking like he's going to sign a 2-year extension with the KHL. So with the team that he plays for there. Who, ironically enough, end in UFA, which is just, I was like, wow, unrestricted free agent. That's pretty cool. So that means you won't, if you're a Leafs fan, won't be seeing him till 2023 at the earliest. But it looks like he's not ready for the NHL, so it's maybe not the worst thing in the world. So yeah, I guess we'll see how that all transpires. Anyway, guys, that is the whole video. So there's 1 to 15 of the 2020 draft picks, and yeah, got to see where they're all at. Tomorrow will be, depending on how the news is, but I'll try fit it in, 16 to 31. And then in a few days we might start with the 2019 draft, just because I think this is a good idea, just to sort of see where everyone is, and gives you a good update overall of where the players are. But if you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you're already a subscriber. If you're not, hit the subscribe button. You've made it this long. It really does help us out. You have no idea. Like, I do put a bit of effort in these videos. I hope that comes across. And hitting that sub button really does help out motivation-wise. Otherwise, comment down below if you did like this video. I know it's a new format, so it does sort of help me out of whether I should abandon this and head for newer seas, or if I should slug this out. It was actually fun researching it. I actually had a ball going through it all. It's good to know. It's good for me. It's a good exercise for me to keep up to date with all these players too. So it's kind of like a win-win if this video ends up landing. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. See you, and bye.